We're going to align with joy today. So laying down on your mat, bringing your knees together, placing your hands onto your belly, taking some time to settle here, allowing your back to feel the support of the floor. Maybe lift your hips a little bit so your spine can get nice and long. Hands on your belly, breathing all the way into your hands. And as you exhale, feeling yourself releasing a little bit more. Maybe while you're here, setting an intention for your practice this morning. So any quality that you would like to bring in, maybe more joy into your life, setting that now. And we're going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling, spreading your fingers out, lifting them up a little higher, and then as you make some fists, bringing your shoulders back down to the floor. So inhale, stretching those fingers up, and exhale, bringing your shoulders back to the floor. Once more, stretching and releasing. With your hands and fists, let's make some circles with our wrists. Noticing how that feels, where there might be some tightness, and going in the other direction. And then stretching your fingers back out, we're going to take the right arm over the left, crossing at your biceps and giving yourself a huge hug today in appreciation for showing up on the mat. And then we'll release the hands, bringing them back up. We'll cross the other arm in front. Another nice big hug. And then back with your hands to the ceiling. We'll bring our knees into our chest, wrapping our arms around the knees and maybe rocking from side to side. Giving your back a little bit of a massage. And we're going to meet in a seated position. So you can either bring your hands behind your knees and rock up forward and back, or if you'd like, you can just roll to your side. And we'll all meet in a easy seated position. Maybe take your shoulders to your ears and letting them roll down your back. We'll just drop the chin to our chest and then slowly lifting the nose up to the ceiling. And then slowly dropping your chin to your chest and slowly back to the ceiling. And then bringing your head back to neutral. Let's drop our right ear to our right shoulder. Maybe bringing your left arm out. And feel a stretch along that left side. And then slowly bringing your head back up. You can bring your arm in. We'll let the left ear go to the left shoulder. Bringing your right arm back out to the mat. Breathing here. And then coming back to center. Taking your arms back out in front, we're going to grab hold of the right bicep with our left hand and bringing that arm across your body, giving your shoulders, your upper back a little stretch. And then bringing your arms back out, we'll grab hold of the left bicep and bringing it across your body. Breathing here. Beautiful. Releasing your hands, bringing them back down by your sides. We'll inhale, bringing them up to the ceiling. Palms together and back down to our heart center. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, sinking down. Beautiful. Once more, inhale, reaching up. This time, let's take the right hand to the mat, reaching up a little higher with the left arm and coming over to your right. Breathing into that space you're creating. And then bringing both hands back up, reaching up. And left hand coming down, coming over to your left. Beautiful. And reaching both arms back up. And then letting those hands float back down by your sides. Beautiful. We'll do a little twist here. Take the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Looking over your right shoulder. Taking a few breaths all the way down into your belly. And then coming back to center, we'll take the right hand to the left knee, bringing the left hand behind and looking over your left shoulder. And coming back to center. We'll come onto our hands and knees in child's pose. So getting your knees a little bit wider if that feels good for you. Your toes can be touching. And then stretching your arms out. If your head doesn't reach the mat, you can always stack your fists. Taking some time to settle here. Breathing all the way down the back of your body. Letting go. In order to align with joy, we must first release what no longer serves us. So allowing any negativity to roll off your back. And then we'll come back into our table position, knees coming back underneath the hips, wrists under the shoulders, fingers wide. We'll do a few cat-cows here. As you exhale, rounding your back up to the ceiling. And then as you inhale, letting your belly sink down, head and tailbone up. See if you can slow down your breath, slowing down your movements. Then we'll come back into a neutral position. We're going to bring our right foot forward, wiggling it up, setting it up into our low lunge. So hands are on either side of that right foot. Feeling a nice stretch, making any adjustments so that your left knee feels okay. You can pat it up if it's not feeling great. And then maybe lifting your nose up towards the ceiling, noticing a nice stretch along that left side. And then from here, let's walk our fingers back as we straighten out the right leg. Let's see if you can bring your nose down towards your knee. Taking a few breaths here. Releasing that need to control everything. And then we'll slowly bring our hands back the front of the mat. We'll take the right leg and slide it back. We're going to switch sides, so bringing the left foot forward, wiggling it in, getting yourself into our low lunge here, sinking into those hips. Maybe lifting your nose up towards the ceiling. Taking a few moments as you feel that stretch along the right side of your body. And then from here, we'll walk the fingers back, straightening out that left leg, bringing your nose down towards your knee. And releasing your hamstrings here, releasing control. Breathing into any tight spots. And then we'll slowly come back to the front of the mat, taking that left leg back, getting your hands lined up again back into our table position, fingers nice and wide. We're going to come into a downward facing dog, so curling your toes, lifting your hips, letting your head come between your arms, and we'll walk one heel out at a time. Taking your time, moving slowly, allowing things to loosen up. And then maybe bringing both heels towards the mat, hips up towards the ceiling. Maybe shaking your head, yes and no. Loosening up any tightness in your neck. From here, we'll walk our hands back to meet our feet. So you can bend your knees, coming into a ragdoll, grabbing hold of your elbows, maybe swaying from side to side. So getting loose and limp here. And then coming back to center, back to stillness. Maybe uncrossing your arms, we'll bend the knees a little more and slowly and gently rolling ourselves back up to stand. Keeping your chin down until you're feeling stable, and then when you're ready, you can lift your head up. So shoulders and ears are lining up over your hips. Hips are lined up over your knees. Knees are lined up over your ankles. Taking a moment, closing your eyes, checking in to see how you're feeling as you stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. See if your breath is going all the way to your belly. Allowing your shoulders to relax as you exhale. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up, reaching up, bringing the palms together, and then back down to our heart center. Beautiful. Let's take our feet a little further apart. We're just going to let the arms float from side to side, maybe lifting up a heel. Again, getting loose and limp. Not being so rigid, tight and tense. Good. And then we'll come back to center. Maybe bring your feet back in. We're going to do some breath of joy. So aligning with joy, bringing joy into our bodies and into our minds. My kitty cat wants some joy too. So with the breath of joy, it's a 3-part inhale. So we're going to inhale our arms in front of us, then inhale them to the side, and then inhale them all the way up And as you exhale, you can bend your knees, bringing them down. So it's an inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. So it's going to go like this. We're going to do 10 of those. So when you're ready, you may begin. We'll do 2 more. On your last one, you're just going to hang out over your hips, letting your head hang down. Taking a sigh, letting any last monkeys rolling off. And then bending your knees and slowly and gently rolling back up. Keeping your chin tucked until you are feeling stable. And then you can lift your head up. Let's just bring our hands to our heart, close our eyes, feeling that heart beating. Feeling a little more joyful, a little lighter. Beautiful. We're going to take our legs a little wider apart and having your feet parallel to each other. We're going to come into a 5-pointed star. So reaching those arms out, fingers wide, feet nice and solid on the mat. Maybe looking up, connecting with that beautiful day today. And then from here, let's let the arms float down behind us. If you can grab hold of your hands and maybe pulling them down towards the floor so your shoulders are squeezing together. Chest is expanding up, looking up, breathing into that heart space where joy is always present. And then we'll slowly tilt forward, hinging at the hips, coming all the way down with your head. Maybe your hands can reach up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath here. And then releasing your hands back down to the mat. If your hands don't quite touch the mat, you can always bring a book over or a block and bring your hands onto that book or block. So letting your head hang down, let's shake our head yes and no. We'll bring the left hand to the center of the mat, right hand on top, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath here, and then bringing that hand back down to the mat. And then taking your left hand up to the ceiling and bringing that hand back to the mat. Moving with your breath, right arm up and back down. Left arm up and back down. Once more with the right arm. And back down, and once more with the left arm. Beautiful. Let's bring both hands back to the mat. We're going to walk our hands over to our left ankle, bringing our nose down towards our knee. Breathing into any space you're creating. And then bring your hands back down on the left side of your mat. Let's bend into that left knee, bringing the right foot up, getting a nice stretch in the inside of the groin area. Good. Let's bring our hips back up. We're going to walk our left foot to the front of the mat. Right foot can line up behind, making sure that your heel is on the mat. Then maybe bringing your hands behind you, like you're an airplane ready to take off. And then we're going to inhale, bringing those hands up towards the ceiling. Coming into warrior one. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Making any adjustments so that you can find some balance, find some stability and some groundedness in your feet. Looking up to the ceiling. Then we'll bring the hands together, bringing them down to our heart, sinking in maybe a little bit deeper into the front knee. We'll just do a little flow here. Let's inhale, straightening out the front leg, reaching the arms up, and then exhale, coming back down. Moving with your breath, nice and steady. And once more, reaching up, keeping your arms up there. Let's just bend into that front knee. Coming back into our warrior one pose. And then we'll bring the elbows down. So we're opening up our heart, looking up. And then bring your elbows together in front of you. And then opening and closing. Once more, let's open the arms and close. And then we'll let the hands come all the way back down to the mat. We're going to walk our fingers back so that we're facing sideways again, getting those feet parallel to each other. Letting your head hang down. Taking a breath or two. And then walking your hands to the right ankle. Let's bring our nose down towards your right knee. And then hands to the mat. We'll bend into the right knee, lifting the left toes up. Getting that stretch on the inner groin of that left leg. Beautiful. Let's come back up. And we'll walk our right foot so that the toes are facing the back of your mat. Left foot is positioned so your heel can touch the mat. And we'll do the same routine on this side. So hands coming out like you're an airplane or a bird ready to take off. And then when you're ready, let's slowly lift those arms up towards the ceiling, coming into warrior one on this side. So knee on the right side is bent, left leg straight. Breathing down into your belly. Feeling the confidence of the warrior. And then we'll bring the palms together, back down to our heart center. And we'll flow here. Let's inhale, straightening the front leg, reaching up. Exhale, sinking down. Reaching up. And back down. We'll do one more like this. And back down. Beautiful. Let's send the arms up. And bending at the elbows. Chest facing up to the sky. And then bringing your elbows together. And opening. And together. And opening. And once more together. And opening. We'll send those arms up and let's come back over the hips. Walking those hands back to center. Getting your feet parallel to each other. Head hanging down. Taking a couple breaths here. And then just wiggling your feet in enough so that you can bring your hips down to the ground. So if your heels aren't touching the floor, that's okay. Use your hands to give you some support. Coming into our squat. This is an excellent pose to come into every day. It gets all those internal organs working, allows things to move through you. And then we'll ease our way onto the mat, getting your sits bones sitting down. We'll stretch the legs out. Give them a little shake. Shoulders come up to your ears and rolling down your back. So sitting up nice and tall, you want your ears and your shoulders over top of your hips. Taking a moment, closing your eyes. Feeling all that wonderful, joyful energy flowing all through you and around you. And then opening your eyes, we're going to take our right leg out and bring the left foot in to the inside of the right leg. So nice wide legs here. Looking over towards your right leg, let's slowly bring our hands down towards the right toes. Taking some time to breathe here. And then we'll come back up. We're going to take the left hand to the floor behind us. We're going to reach the hips up, coming on to our left leg, reaching the arm up and over. So you have a nice long line from your right fingers to your right toes. Feeling that joyful stretch along the side body. And then slowly lowering yourself back down. Let's switch our legs. So bringing the left leg out nice and wide, right leg in. Looking over towards your left toes. And then sliding your hands down towards them. Breathing all the way down your back. Releasing any tightness or tension. And then we'll slowly come back up. Let's take the right hand behind us. We're going to lift the hips, reaching the left arm up, right leg out. Breathing some joy into your soul. And then lowering yourself back down nice and slow. Taking your legs back out in front of you, give them a little wiggle. We'll do a twist here. We'll bring the right leg up, crossing it over, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe taking your left arm up to the ceiling and bringing that left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And we'll take the right arm and bring it behind us, setting it on the floor and looking over that right shoulder. Keeping your spine nice and long. If this is too intense, you can always just grab hold of that right knee with your left hand. Breathing down into your belly. Letting go. And then slowly unwind. Stretching your right leg out. We'll do the other side. Left leg comes in, crossing over. Reaching your right arm to the ceiling and then maybe bringing that right elbow to the outside of the left leg. Left arm behind, looking over your left shoulder. Breathing down into your belly, making sure it feels right for you. And then slowly unwind. Letting that leg stretch out, giving it a wiggle. And we'll lay back down onto our backs. Having your spine nice and long. Maybe lift your hips and let them settle back down. Hands down by your sides. Let's send the feet up towards the ceiling, allowing gravity to work for us here, releasing and letting go of any excess fluids from your feet or your ankles. Maybe pointing and flexing your toes. Let's bend the knees and bringing our feet back down to the mat. Finding some stability back in the floor. Breathing here, maybe taking your feet out to the edges of the mat, bringing your hands back to your belly. Breathing all the way back down into that belly. Connecting with your inner joy that is always there for you. From here, we'll come into a spinal twist, taking your arms out, and we'll let the knees just slowly come over to the right, making any adjustments so that your shoulders can stay relaxed on the floor. We'll let our head look over to the left, sending your breath all the way back down into your belly, and just allowing your back to release and to let go. Then we'll come back to center, maybe bringing your knees in for a little hug and a rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll get ready to do the other side. So arms can come out, knees over to the left, head to the right. Nice full belly breaths. Letting go. Allowing joy in. And then coming back to center, placing a hand on each knee. We'll take our knees into circles, one way and then the other. And then stretching your legs out onto your mat, taking up lots of room. Let's stretch our arms up and overhead. Taking a nice big full belly breath into your belly and letting out a sigh. Letting your arms float back down by your sides. Coming into Shavasana. Giving yourself this opportunity to integrate all of the poses. Giving yourself permission to rest and digest. Feeling all that wonderful energy flowing through you and around you. Allowing yourself to be in joy. And while you're here, I'd like to share a poem by Zach Beach called Bring Forth What Already is Present. Everything you seek, everything you need is here right now. All you must do is bring forth what is already present. Within the seed lies the tree. Within the cloud lies the rain. Within the caterpillar, a butterfly longs to fly. Kindness, love, soul, spiritual possibility are already here within you, to be manifested with the fullest expression of your being. At the meeting place between the world's wish for your openness and your heart's yearning for completeness lies your awakening. This is a divine blessing inside you. Grow around it like the vine spiraling up the fence post. Let it guide you to where insight and wisdom arise naturally, bringing forth what is already present. And with that, with joy in your heart, bringing a full breath back into your belly, beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready, bringing yourself back up to a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. And we'll bring our voices together with the sound of Om 3 times, the universal sound of all things. So bringing a full breath into your belly. Bringing your hands together at your heart center, and may you all be in joy. Namaste.